the next right onto Nairobi Namanga, A104.
Today we're going to tour one of our luxury mansions situated on the beautiful hilly Namanga. This is actually home to the Maasai community, so alongside these rolling hills you have a land filled with culture. This is going to be an interesting tour. Hello guys, and welcome back to the hilly town of Namanga. We have been here working on the renovations of this beautiful mega mansion. It's a very modern structure. We had a lot of structural changes that we had to do, and you'll be able to see that just by looking at the exterior, but I will be showing that when we go inside. So this is a very beautiful home. It has 4 bedrooms, it has an open plan kitchen, a beautiful living area, and an even more beautiful backyard. I will be showing you all those features as we walk through this property, so join me and let's take a look. Before we can go inside, just looking at the exterior of this house, you can tell the taste of the client. It's a very modern house, very minimalistic. It's one of those houses that really stands out. So taking that into consideration, everything that we put inside has to reflect that vibe. So let's go inside and I can talk to you about which elements we've chosen and why we're choosing them. So let's start with the living room. So this is the living room. It is quite a large space, and that is ideal for fitting the most number of people in here. So initially we had the idea to have the TV wall over here, but we figured out that was going to really complicate the layout, and you don't necessarily want your TV to be directly opposite like such a large window. So we decided, since this room has a lot of niches that you can immediately notice, we could have it over here, and it's still enough space to have a big TV here, and it is the perfect placing so that we now have a bigger array of, you know, different layouts that we can do, and also have the space to just have like maybe something interesting to look at. We could add maybe a design there, or even keep it plain, because our client is someone who likes minimalist design. So we are going to do that, but still make the space very, very beautiful. And over here, we have another little section that we're thinking of maybe adding something like a bookshelf or just like a display wall. Minimalist does not mean boring. It can go boring quite quick, but we're going to avoid that at all costs. And another thing, she was very adamant that she does not like bulky gypsum designs. So you will notice throughout the house that we did do simple and, you know, clean cut, classy types of designs like you can see here. Like, it's something that's still very, very eye-catching. I mean, you can see how it has the multiple circles, some recess. It's very interesting to look at, but it's not bulky. It's not something that's ultra gaudy where the client will walk in and just not like that at all. So we kept that simple but very, very beautiful. Of course, we're going to finish it off with a very beautiful chandelier. And from here, right across, we can head into the dining and kitchen area. It is an open plan, which is actually ideal for the space because there was just a bit of space for the kitchen. But let's talk about the dining room. Where I'm standing is where the dining room is going to be. You can see there's enough room to have a big table here for enough seating, and the same that we kind of did something similar that we did for the living room. We went with a very simple and clean design for the gypsum, but what I really love is like there's these sections that are recessed. I can imagine having like lights in there, you know, cove lighting in there. But then also you can see we have this floating ceiling effect. You can achieve something like that without having an unnecessarily bulky design for a gypsum. So I love that we were able to fulfill the client's needs, but also make this place more elevated. So over here we have another niche. Now I'm not exactly, I don't know what we could put in there, but I'd like to hear what you guys would suggest. What can we do for this? Because this section is the dining area. What do you guys think we could do for this section? But another thing I really love about this area is the big open window. I want you guys to notice that throughout this house, they have these big open windows that are very simple. It's actually one way because from the outside, you can't really see what's happening inside. I love the contrast of the black to the wall. So that means that the colors that we choose for this place will almost definitely work with that black. So we can head over into the kitchen. Now there's a load of work that we want to do for this section. Gypsum, very, very simple. We've kept it very clean, but we will be adding lighting that will make it feel a bit more interesting. Now on this wall, we had to do a few adjustments. I told you we did a lot of structural work for this house. This is one of the areas that we did that for. So if you watched our previous video, which I always suggest, go and watch the before video so you're always, you know, following the progress of the site. This was much lower and we felt like it wasn't necessary because this is actually the area where we want to have the sink. So we raised that up just a little bit just so it made more sense. And then we moved the door. This door was originally somewhere over here, but you may notice that this kitchen does not have an inbuilt pantry. So when we came in, we're like, you have a small space. How can we give you a pantry? And we came up with a way to do that. And that was actually why we had to move the door from here to here. So speaking of the pantry, we have it. We created a pantry that leads to the bottom of the stairs. Now we created this small entryway. You might be thinking it's a bit too small. Who could fit in there? I'll tell you, I'm pretty tall. I'm a full-grown adult, and this is a space that I can comfortably get in and out of. But also, if you have kids, you can always just send them in there to fetch whatever you need. But something else that we're planning to do is have this be the cooking station. So this is going to be the main cooking station. The cooker is going to be over here, and then everything else is going to be on the opposite wall. So over here is where we're going to have our inbuilt, keyword inbuilt, because as I said, the space is not very big, so everything is going to be inbuilt. We're going to have the microwave, your oven, your fridge is going to be over on this section, so everything is neat and the kitchen doesn't feel cramped. We're really trying to avoid that. And since we can't have like a standalone kitchen island, we have to get creative. So we do still want to include an island. We're going to have it somewhere here that, you know, there's this line you can see that separates the dining from the kitchen. So we are going to have like buffet table or breakfast table sort of setting here. So we're going to have that also act as an island. It's going to be an interesting feature that's also kind of going to act as a partition between the two spaces. So this section is going to come up until somewhere here so that you still have that entryway into the kitchen. So we're still going to include that without making the kitchen feel too bulky. And since this is going to be the cooking station, we also have to find a way to create a bit of privacy. You know, all the kitchens that we design, as much as you want it to be an open plan, you still want there to be a sense of, okay, this is a separate section where I can feel, you know, a bit more closed off when I'm doing what I need to be doing in the kitchen. So we are going to come up with a very creative way to add cabinetry to this section that is going to help to achieve that. So from here, I think now that I'm done talking about the kitchen, the next place we can do is just head on upstairs and check out what's happening there. So let's go. So when we first came into this house, there was existing staircase, but we had grand ideas that we wanted to implement. There is going to be very interesting lighting on these steps. You can notice that there's these niches that we've left there that's purposeful. We are going to have lighting there. It's going to be super exciting. Told you want to keep things very minimalist, so we thought maybe, you know, the track lights that tend to be on the wall, we're just not going to work for this property. So just having them like seamlessly in the stairs, you can imagine how that's just going to be very, like a very modern feel. Also, we have this wall, this big blank wall. So for this wall, we want to do like cladding for it. Like we want to do some paneling, and this will actually follow through into the living room. There's that big empty wall that I was telling you guys where we were thinking of putting the TV. But now that we're not doing that, we're going to have the paneling that's going to be very similar to the one that's here, going to the living room, and that creates flow. I always talk about that. That creates awesome flow so that each space kind of feels connected to each other. Now you might be wondering, like, what's going on with this wall? Like, why does it have these spaces? You see those lights that I'm talking about that are going to be in the stairs? We're also going to have something similar on the wall. So we're going to have a well-lit stairwell, and it's going to feel very modern without just having, like, you know, the normal, usual lighting fixtures that we love to use. We just thought it would really fit with the design of this house, very modern. So we're going to have that in each one of these niches in the wall. And I really can't wait to see what that's going to look like. It promises that it's going to be very, very beautiful. It's going to be innovative. It's going to be so, so different. So, and then, we're going to finish up the gypsum with, of course, a beautiful chandelier. So now that we're up here, we can check out some of the bedrooms. But before we go to any of the bedrooms, there's a section where we started from that I want to talk a little bit more about. So this section here was actually just designated to be like a small seating area where you could enjoy the views of the mountains and, you know, still be under, you know, the cover of the house, so you still feel like you're inside. But there is like 2 steps that lead out into this other area here, and we were proposing to the client, like, why not make the most out of this space? This is you want to enjoy the view. The best way to do that is really to come out here, because this is insane. I told you this is the hilly town of Namanga, and I was not kidding. These guys got some prime land, because this view is insane to me. Like, having this view and not utilizing it to the fullest would just be a very missed opportunity. So we were proposing we could extend the seating area to out here so they can enjoy this even more. We might add some coverage here just in case, but you can see already in here they could be covered. So we want to do something different for this area, and then they can just get to enjoy their view like all the time. So we can head back in and now look at the bedrooms. So this is one of the bedrooms. I have been told this is going to be a girl's bedroom. That got me really excited, because you know how we like to personalize rooms to the person. So this is going to be a girl's bedroom. I can't wait to see how it's going to be decorated. We're almost at that stage, because the next thing that we're going to be working on is the tile work. But the paint work should be very interesting for this room, so I can't wait to see that. And I know some of you really, really like to see how we personalize rooms, so you should subscribe to our channel so that you can see the next video. So we've already figured out the whole layout of this room. It has similar features to the living room. You can see it has that niche in the wall as well. You can see we've done all the electrical work. We've already figured out where we want all the switches, where we want all the outlets. So everything is sorted in that respect. But something that I really, really like about this room, again, is the gypsum. I'll only point this out because I feel like it's such an interesting, like, it's like joining the gypsum design we saw in the living room and the one we saw in the dining. You can see we have a square, it's a rectangle. We have a rectangle and we have a circle. Like the ones downstairs, like they're very similar, and this seems like the 2 of them just brought together. I thought that was just something to point out. It's also something that I can see a lot of potential with when it comes to lighting. We can have those, you know, we can add the chandelier, and have the cove lighting all around. It would be very, very beautiful. So I can't wait to see how this turns out. We can go and look at one of the other bedrooms on this floor, which is right next door. So let's head over there and see what we've done in there. This room is right next to the girls' room, and this is just going to be one of the extra bedrooms in the house, but we still want to, make an experience for whoever is going to be using it. But you can see we've gone for a much simpler gypsum design. Electrical work is already done, so it's just waiting for it to be personalized. The next phase we're actually going to be working on is getting down the tile work, and then, at that stage, things really start coming to life. And another thing you may have noticed about the rooms I've shown you so far, they are not en suite. This is not one of those houses that has been built to have every room be an ensuite. So you will notice that as I walk out right here, to my right, we have a common bathroom. So the girls' room and this room will be sharing this bathroom, and also anyone who might be in the seating area, that will be fully decked out too. As I said, next stage is tile work, so this entire area will be beautified. Now, where I'm about to head into is the master bedroom. We have a lot of plans, so I'll go in and really just tell you in excruciating detail what we're planning for the room. So let's go in. So this is the master bedroom, and it might not be as extravagant as some of the ones you've seen before, but I think the main goal of this house, I keep reiterating, our client is into really minimalistic taste, and every room has a very minimalistic feel. But what I really love is that they still created ample space in every room. It does not need to be extravagant for it to really fit everything that you need. So we are in the master bedroom. It is an ensuite. So we have these big opening doors that still go out and look at that beautiful, beautiful view of the mountains. I really love the situation of that. So they've created an outside area where they could come out, maybe have a couple of seats and really enjoy that view. But also now, let me tell you a bit about what we're thinking of doing for this room. So the layout was pretty simple for us to do. So we're going to have the bed on that end of the room, but the most interesting part of this room is going to be here. So we want to make the most of this space. We want to do as much as possible that without making the room feel cramped and still leaving room for any other features that we might want to add. So here we want to do the TV wall and have a vanity, because I will be showing you the walk-in later as we want to make it. So we're thinking this would be the more ideal space to have the vanity. So we're going to have the TV wall and have the vanity be on this wall. And that way we can still have enough room for the bed and maybe any other cabinetry that we might want to include here. So we just want to make sure that everything has its own place and we still create those special spaces where a client really gets to enjoy their bedroom. So now I'm going to show you what is going to be the walk-in and the bathroom. So this section over here, I think you can tell that there wasn't really a plan to have a walk-in. This whole entire area was supposed to be the bathroom, but we felt like that would be so sad if we couldn't create even a little bit of room for a walk-in. So that's exactly what we're going to do. And we will still have enough space to fully deck out this master bathroom. You know how we like to really beautify and go all out for our master bathroom, so we're still going to do that. But having that in mind, we still wanted to create that space for the walk-in. So we're thinking of, dividing like just a bit of space here where we could include a lot of cabinetry. Like I want you guys to try and visualize that. Like it seems like it's such a small space, but just, having that foresight and just being able to think, hey, no matter how small the space feels, it's still better than not having any room at all for all your extra stuff. We don't want the room to feel, very cluttered either. So that's where we're going to do that. We're going to put in that effort and have a very small section of this bathroom be the walk-in. Of course, we're going to have some sort of partition. We wouldn't want the two rooms interfering with each other way too much. So we're going to have a lot of cabinetry, a lot of beautiful things here. I want you guys to follow me on this journey so we can all see what this area is going to look like once it's complete. So now let's talk about the bathroom. All I had to do is turn around and we're in the bathroom. But you can see we've already done the plumbing work for this space. Okay, over here, is where the toilet is going to be. I think anytime you see any of these, you just kind of know where we're intending to have the toilet bowl, because this is actually the feature where we're going to attach the cistern that's going to hold all the water. So if you see this in any of the projects, you just know that's where the toilet bowl is going to be. And it's right over here next to the big window. I like that because obviously you want ventilation in this space. You don't want this space to feel too fumigated. You know, easy access, you can just open. Plenty of light as well. Absolutely amazing. And then right over here, we are going to have a jacuzzi. You might be thinking it looks a bit too small, but it's all about finding the things that fit. We wouldn't take up that space for the walk-in if we felt like, okay, that would, you know, keep us from doing all the other things that we want to do. So we're still going to have the jacuzzi. It has to be there. We love to have that feature because you can see how it will be a very good thing to have when you just want to relax. And then we're going to go for a beautiful shower that's going to be here. You guys know we like high-end shower cubicles, so that's always included. It's always good to give people the option. Do you want to shower? Do you want to have like a long bath and just relax? So we always like to include the two of those. And then over here, we are going to have our sink. We're going to have our sink here. It's going to have a beautiful mirror, all the lighting, you know, all those good things that we like to do. And of course, we've left the wall rough because there's going to be a lot of beautiful tile work in here. And this will be a very well-fitted ensuite. So overall, I think that's it for this bathroom and the walk-in. All that's left to do is just, you know, keep up with us and see how things turn out. So that's the master bathroom and the master bedroom. So I want you guys to stay with me because I have a few questions. Like we have a few ideas with some of the things that we want to do on this property. And I really, really want to hear your ideas. So I think from here we can head out into the backyard because there's a few things I'd like to hear your opinions on. Hello guys, and we are in the backyard. I feel like it is so beautiful. It's so natural. There's so many trees around me. You have this beautiful green grass. And I have to point out that we do take care of the grass. Like any project that we're working on that might have grass, the client is very adamant that they want the grass and we know we're not going to get rid of it. We always take care of it. We water it. And if there's any like brown patches at the end of the project, we take care of that. Like we, you know, dig it up and just, you know, make sure that everything is nice and beautiful. And we definitely know that we're keeping this natural element because I tell you, when you walk out here, it just feels so fresh, like so much fresh air, there's so much nature around me. I told you have those beautiful hills, the sky is so blue, it's just absolutely gorgeous. So in order to make sure that the client really enjoys this place, we have this idea to include seating right over here. So there's a section here where we want to have seating so that, you know, if the client really wants to fully enjoy the natural elements of this compound, they can come and sit here. But I want your guys' help. This is where the questions come in. I want you guys to tell me, what kind of seating do you think we could put here that would fit this space? Like, I know you've seen some of our landscape work, you've seen some of the creative landscape seating that we come up with. I want you guys to tell me in the comments, what would you do? What kind of seating? If this was your property, what kind of seating would you want to see here? So right across from this grass patch, we can head over here to a feature I really, really love in like all the properties. Like any property that has a pool, I'm always in awe because this is what I know I want. Like I always say, like I want to work hard so I can get to this level of success, so I can afford to have a pool in my backyard. Like this is gorgeous. This is actually the size I would go for, but we did have to do some modifications. Like I've already talked about this pool before, so you should go and watch the previous video to see what kind of changes we made. But we did feel like it wasn't properly constructed, so we just added in a bit more of a ramp so that it didn't feel too deep too soon. So we did that and completed that. Now it's, you know, next stage is just having the tile work. And then right over here, if you're gonna have a pool and you're going to have a beautiful landscape area, you need to create other spaces to enjoy those features. So that's exactly what we've done. We have this small area here that we want to designate as the barbecue area. Yeah, the barbecue area. I love a bit of barbecue. So I think this would be a place that I would personally be at 24/7. But you can see we have the section here where we're going to have the shelving. I can see this area being used for all the spices. You know how you want to prepare any sort of meat that you might want to barbecue. You're going to have all your spices there, your salt and whatever good stuff you're going to need. And then this is going to be the section that is actually going to be the main barbecue area. So whatever machines you're going to be using, you know, whatever tools that you're going to be using will be here for the main barbecue area. You can have all your, you know, racks of ribs here, all your drumsticks, all that good, delicious food. But then right across from it is where we're going to have the seating area. So I said this house has a beautiful view, and having this seating here is very, very intentional because from where I'm standing, you can see those beautiful hills. And this house, I said, has a number of different places where you get to enjoy that view. And we thought, why not add another one? So imagine you're sitting here with your family. There's someone on the grill, you know, preparing one of your favorite meals. You know, you're chatting, you have a beautiful pool here, you have green grass, you have so many beautiful natural elements, you're out in the fresh air. And then to cap it all off, you have that gorgeous view of the hills. Like, I can't imagine anything better than that. And of course, we're not going to leave this open. We are going to have like a clear covering so that you're not under the direct sun, because it does get quite hot in this area. So we just want to have a bit more protection for the clients so that they actually want to sit here and enjoy this beautiful backyard. Now, the next question I have for you guys, we need your help. We have a couple of ideas. So you can see out here there is more space that we haven't finished off. So we're thinking we could actually either complete this floor with decor or with tiles. Now, we're not quite sure which direction we want to go in, but we'd love to hear your opinions because each of those two elements brings something different to the space. But we want to know, what do you think would be the best for this space and why? Like, we just want to hear, because we really value when you guys give us feedback, because sometimes it gives us ideas and it's very inspiring. So decor or tile, you let me know in the comments. So overall, I have to say, this feels very beautiful. And don't worry, I know you're looking at the perimeter wall, wondering what's happening there. We are going to complete that. There's no way we're going to beautify this space and just to leave that, but that will be seen in a different video. But it is absolutely going to be gorgeous. I can kind of envision when it's completely done. This is one of those places that when you're standing outside, you just feel very small because of all the natural elements just being under so much beautiful sky. And I think us being able to make this place where the client can come in and really get the most out of it is ideal, because it would be such a waste if we didn't do that. So I hope you guys have enjoyed. I think I've taken you through a tour of the entire house, and let me know about all your ideas. I can't wait to hear what opinions you guys have.